It's Magic 107.5, 97.5, the real sound of Atlanta. It's virtual vibe, Big Ray in the building. And I'm extremely excited because I got a chance to see them perform on Saturday. And when I tell you, it's not even like I'm impressed. I knew what was to expect. Ladies and gentlemen, Kindred the Family Soul in the building.
What's
Hello.
poppin', Big Ray?
Hello.
Introduce yourselves.
This is Fatim. I'm the husband.
And I'm Aja, and I, of course, am the wife.
Right.
Oh.
All right, we're going to jump right into it, right out the gate. How does a couple in business, in this entertainment industry, survive? Because, you know, you see each other every day,
Yeah.
you go to work, you come home, you wake up, you know, you run errands together, you go to shows. How do you work these things out? How do you navigate these industry family streets?
I feel like it's changed multiple times because the industry has changed so many times. So we have like many kind of new things that we've had to navigate. So the overall vibes are, not to be afraid of the argument, let it happen, figure out where we stand with one another, prioritize what we have to do because it's work at the end of the day and gotta go to work because these kids gotta eat and go to college. And also to, preserve each other's feelings. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a person, that's like not just a group member or a business partner. This is your actual person.
Right.
So you have to, have care and empathy for who they are and realize how hard this is and that you're not the only person going through it. It's like we're on the same team. So even if we disagree, I mean, we have the same goal. So I think that, I don't know.
Yeah, I think we're a family before we are a group. We're a family before we're in this business. So preserving that first and always keeping that in mind helps us to navigate what we're navigating. And of course, like you said, the responsibilities that we carry from doing what we do, we always keep those things into consideration. And it helps things to move faster. And we try not to let things fester and, stay just like any other couple. Our life and situation, our love life is very similar. You have to work at that. You have to continue to work at that every day, and every day is a challenge that's before you, and you work towards that, and you both have a shared and common vision and common goal. And if everybody's on the same page, things usually just tend to work themselves out. And we've been very blessed. 27 years, still here, still doing it, and 25 of those have been in the industry as well. And even
we know more about relationship in
that.
this situation than outside of it.
Right.
This has been the reality the whole time, basically. So we don't really know another way.
Right. This is
you
all
know
you
what
know.
I'm saying? This is all that we know as a couple. So I mean, maybe when we are like retiring in our house by the lake,
right? I was like,
retire. Then ask us how to do that because that'll be new. They'll be like, "Oh, what do you guys do when you guys are not managing that?" You know what I mean? So like, I feel like probably that'd be more like a thing we don't understand than this. This is like,
how do you chill out?
Water. Yeah, this is like water now. This is like
it's just flowing, man.
Regular.
It's flowing.
So with that being said, how do you date your mate?
Right.
Every Friday.
Every Friday.
There's a date night on.
Yeah, man.
What
tonight we're gonna miss. Well, not tonight.
Somewhat miss it because we're working tonight, but. Like during the pandemic, like we used to be more spontaneous. Like it's just like he was like, let's go out, let's do that. But during the pandemic, we have 6 kids, and all of our kids, even my kid that was in college at the time, came home. So everyone was in the house all the time. At the time we had a studio, and the studio became like our date night destination because we just had to get out of there.
Right.
And so we weren't working either, so we didn't even have that time to get away from everyone.
Yeah, because we do have that, and that definitely helps.
Right. So my husband was like, "Look, we gotta do something about this." So Friday night started then, and we just continued. So now it's been
I think
since
that's
2020,
very important. For
6 years we've been having date night on Friday.
Yeah, you got to be intentional about continuing the date you made. You got to continually be intentional about, spending time with one another outside of the family obligations and responsibilities, and trying to tap back into the reason why you started and what you loved about each other the most, just during the courtship. All of those things are super important to keep things
Yeah,
rolling, keep things
conversation,
going.
trying
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
that's new together,
And eating.
and eating because we do
Right.
like to eat.
Gotta
We like to eat.
Yeah, you know what I mean. And it's like,
Then go home and
little
have
end of the
hot,
evening
butt
situation.
naked, passionate love.
Woo!
You know what I'm saying?
Normally I would expect stop it. She's like, woo.
Yes.
So and I want to bring up this situation now. You say 6 kids.
Yeah.
God bless you. How does that work? Because with 6 kids, you guys on the road and doing press and trying to do albums. How does that balance with the kids work out? I know you got college age kids, but it's still
Now,
the 6 family.
Yeah, we got
right.
yeah.
Well, they used to be little.
Yeah,
So
Right.
So when I had during pregnancies, I toured during my pregnancies. Then when my babies were still nursing, they traveled with us because I was there for.
You probably had babies in this building at one
Yeah,
point.
they had
Wow.
probably did. We had when they were babies, they were with us because they had to be. And then once they were weaned off breast milk, then they would go home and stay home, and we had like a routine for them at home. And his mother and my mother, and then eventually
Was
his
hanging
younger
up
brother
clothes. Mama.
were like our child care trifecta. And then his younger brother for years was like our actual travel nanny. Like he would come in with us and go on places with us and stuff. And so our family has been a big help, so that we didn't really have to hire
The family is the fifth beat, right? Well, the fifth
anyone.
kindred member, rather.
But we had challenges with it. Missing, like if the kid had like a something that they were performing in, or this, that, and the other, or a sports game. Sometimes we would miss those things. But when we were home, we didn't miss anything. So it was like we tried to make up for that part of it. And the kids missed us. It was like regular.
But we blessed also because, like, you mentioned, the industry is different than the home life for a lot of not regular couples, but couples who aren't in the industry, should I say, because we don't have a 9-to-5 job. We kind of have a weekend job,
right?
So we're there for a lot of the children's rearing, 85%, probably more so than a lot of other couples. So it's like that time that we're away, they just learn the balance. They understand our program. They understand that our situation is not the same. And they're growing up in an environment that everything is like it's out front. They understand what's going on. They understand what's happening. We got the fill-ins when they need to fill in. Somebody is there when they need to be there, and we're there for the most part a consistent amount of time.
Yeah, because I was on the PTAs and the da.
Oh, and you guys were still
involved.
Oh yeah, like I was cooking for the school events, and I was doing all that stuff too.
Right.
So like unless I was out working.
Right. You get in where you fit in.
Exactly. Once again, it's Kindred the Family Soul right here. It's Magic 107.5, 97.5. We'll be back some more. The real sound of Atlanta. It's Magic 107.5, 97.5. Virtual Vibe, Big Ray in the building with Kindred the Family Soul. So, do any of the kids want to go down? Because in all honesty, you can really take the children package. It's still the family soul.
Exactly. They can take the legacy right on down the road.
Do the kids want to do what y'all do? Like get on the road with y'all?
A couple of the kids are, they're all musically inclined to some degree because, they're getting it honest naturally. But, our oldest son, he's 26, about to be 27 years old. He has his own album or two.
Right.
Nice.
He still works on music, but he's also an educator and works in, in education. So, he has that bug and is consistently working towards.
He's opened up for us and been on the road.
Nice. Okay.
His name is Akil Daoud, so you guys can look him up and look up his music if you're not already familiar with that. And my daughter, she's just graduated from Temple this year. She's a really good singer, but education first. And these guys are really, they're not counting on that we're going to do music and do da. It's like if music is an outlet for you and you enjoy it and you love it, do that, but you don't have to do it and be,
Nobody's being forced.
Yeah, no one's being
Right.
forced, and we didn't raise them, hey, y'all gonna take on the legacy and go far with this. It wasn't like that. So
Yeah.
if they choose to go in that direction, we have the rearing, we have the experience, we can share with them, we have the wisdom in different ways, so they would be good in that regard. But you have to get it from the muscle and get it on your own, and
Right.
you got to go through the channels. You can't skip
And
the
they're
steps.
good at other
You know what I
stuff.
mean? They're good at other stuff. So
Yeah, one
we
of my
don't really
daughters is
know
a
what they'll-
filmmaker.
Yeah.
My son is a basketball, plays basketball.
They're all passionate about different things.
Yeah, they're all passionate about different things.
I love it. I love it. So, in the creative process that you guys have when making these songs and the albums throughout the time, how does that? Because you guys both have a little bit not similar but different styles. Like, how do you guys collab on what makes the album?
I feel like in recent years, the big thing with us is just going in and listening to music and what really kind of stands out to us. Then we start working on that. So we go listen to a lot of the tracks 1st, and then it's kind of like a race to the finish. It's like not really a race in like a competition, but it's just like somebody comes up with something and and it's strong. Then we go with that person's idea.
Okay.
And other way around. It's like we just kind of go with what feels like it's locked in.
Right.
And if we're honest about it, which we almost always are because we want it to be good. So that's usually the way that we go about doing things. Every now and then, one of us might write the majority of something just because we're just feeling it. And but mostly we just collaborate that way. We like it to be an exchange of perspectives. So if I start in one place, I want to hear his perspective on where I started, vice versa.
Right.
And a long time ago, Nick Ashford, because people oftentimes like compare us to Nick and Val to Ashford Simpson, and Nick Ashford said one time one of the things that he loved about what we do is that it is a conversation.
I was just
And he was saying that a lot of our music reflects my point of view, but then also his point of view. And and of course their music is very lyrical and paints a lot of pictures, and it's it has its,
but
its
one
beauty
person was
to
the
it.
lyricist and one person
But
was
one
the
person,
musician in that
exactly,
regard.
exactly.
Yeah.
So that's the way that we look at it. A conversation, a bounce. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, it's funny when you think about the difference between Nick and Val and us, because like Nick would have written "I'm Every Woman," what I mean? He's writing the lyrics, and Val is doing the music, so he's tapping into a totally different perspective, from a woman's perspective rather than a man's perspective.
Right.
But I think that, like she said, that a good conversation is much like a song. It's an exchange of ideas. Two people have to have a dialogue and conversation in order to have it be a conversation. Otherwise, it's just speech.
Right.
And so, her perspective, my perspective, like she said, but a good idea is a good idea, which speaks to the thing of like sometimes the majority of a song may be written already, and it's just like, okay, well then how will I interpret what's being said, or how will you interpret what's being said? How will you present that same feeling that I meant when I wrote what I wrote, or when you wrote what you wrote, and just trying to evoke that. And so a lot of people get songs written for them and then they just perform it. So that same dynamic is true in what we do as well. It's just like sometimes it's performance and sometimes it is just your perspective. And each way works as long as it's good and we both believe in it.
I love it. So I guess the biggest question now and everybody wants to know is when is another album coming out?
Well, we just put an album out in
October 3rd.
October, and you guys are playing our latest single, For Life, here, and we appreciate that. So right now we're really working that album. That album's called The Grand Life, and we'll look to see what happens in the near future in terms of re-recording or recording something new, but that will be our 9th project that's out now in over 23 years. Just yesterday, we celebrated the 23-year anniversary of our very first album.
Wow.
So like we still rolling, we still putting out music. It's an independent game now, so sometimes people miss some of the projects because they're not as in your face as they were when the label days, and the internet wasn't what it is, and it wasn't so flooded with so many different types of music and music everywhere. But we're grateful for the fans that love what we do and that stay tapped into everything that we do, and we're just thankful for all the opportunities that come forward.
Well, just know that you guys got a home, and we love you right here on Virtual Vibe. All right, just know that, and I appreciate you guys for your time.
Yes,
We
sir.
appreciate you.
No doubt. Once again, it's Big Ray in the building. It's Magic 107.5, 97.5, the real sound of Atlanta.